Hello, everyone. Welcome to my blab tonight called Uncover the 5 Keys to Catapult Your Income. So again, we're going to talk tonight about what are some keys to catapult your income. Who doesn't want to grow their income, but not only grow your income, really exponentially catapulting your income? I know that I am as an entrepreneur. Want to share with you, my name is Tina Kadish. My business is Life is Ideal, and I'm a freedom strategist. And what I do is I help entrepreneurs grow their income by improving their relationship with money and also creating a high-end program so that they're really charging what they're worth. But I help you not only to be wealthier, make money, catapulting your income, but what I also do is help you to be happier. I help you to be wealthier and healthier. Those are my 3 steps roadmap to freedom. So I'm on Blab tonight, and I want to share, really we're going to focus more on the wealthier piece of your income. Thank you, Laura, for joining me tonight. I really appreciate your support. And for anyone that's online, I welcome you. And I'm privileged to be here and really honored to have you as my guests. And as we're going through for the next hour, feel free to ask me any questions. So the first key we're going to talk about is your money mindset. That's the first key. Now, money mindset, I know that we've talked about that. I know that I've been on a couple of blabs and I've read books about your mindset and how do you get your inner game really in an abundance mindset, coming from scarcity to abundance? Who can relate to your mindset that really, how many times do we struggle with right here? And I have to say myself, definitely. I have come from a scarcity mindset for pretty much all my life. I have always had the belief, because it has to do with beliefs. When we're thinking about your money mindset, you're thinking about your beliefs about money. And with that, what do we believe about money? Laura, thank you. Thinking thoughts of lack and never enough. Absolutely. I grew up in a household that money was never enough. There was never enough money. Money was hard to even earn. But if you worked hard, you could get it. And it was always about working hard. But then sometimes you worked hard and you didn't make the money. So then you started asking yourself, like, really? Do I need to work hard? Why is it that some people, the money just seems to fall down and they just take it, right? So when we're thinking of money mindset, it has to do with your beliefs. What's limiting you from growing your income? Okay. Right, Laura, always afraid. Thank you for everyone joining me. Latino Connection. Thank you for joining me, Latino, for the blab. We just got started. Great. So we just got started with Uncover the 5 Keys to Catapult Your Income. Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Latino, for joining me tonight. And as the host of the blab, just want to make sure that I welcome everybody and so that we can get started. But what we were starting to say is your money mindset. Okay, it's very, very, very important. When we think about your money mindset, it's really about your inner game, your stinking thinking, your beliefs about money. What's limiting you from creating abundance to your life, okay? And so that is one of the most important things in my program called the Money Power Intensive. Though there's 5 strategies that I go through, and I'm going to go through them tonight. Inner game, abundance or lack. Thanks, Laura, for being my note taker. I love it. And I asked her to join me in the hot seat, but she didn't want to join me tonight because she's not ready. But one of these days, Laura, we're going to get you in the hot seat, okay? And anyone else that wants to call in, feel free. I would love to have you on. We have room for you. and make this a dialogue. So number one is your money mindset, having your inner game. What do you think is the number one limiting belief that really prevents you from creating abundance? Who wants to write it in? And one of the things I want to say is type, if you want to ask a question, I'll just put it in there in the chat and the question. Okay. And then I will definitely answer your question. But what do you think is the number one limiting belief that really prevents us from catapulting our income? What do you think that is? Who'd like to share with me the number one limiting belief? I know what mine has been all my life, but who would like to share what has been for them? Anyone? Oh, come on. Roy, Laura, and who else has joined? Latino Connection. Come on. Who would like to ask the question or share with me? Latino, fear of not being good enough. Oh my gosh. Laura, absolutely. Fear. And that was one of the things that I was going to say. Truthfully, I'm not kidding. Fear has been huge. And I'll give you a little bit of history myself. I've been working full time and always wanted to be free from the corporate world and into my full-time business as an entrepreneur, as a coach, really helping people be happier, make money, and be healthier. But what was always preventing me is that fear that of not making it, not being able to do it. I've always had a consistent paycheck, and it was really hard and has been hard to really make that my transition, not only transition physically, leaving your job, or I got laid off in the corporate world in 2003. I was in training and development and found myself with no job and not really knowing what to do next. I've always quit jobs, but I've never been laid off. So I had a lot of fear. I had a lot of insecurities. What do I do now? I've always worried about money. So for me, fear of not being able to make it, but also fear of success. What happens if I get successful? What will happen? I mean, what if I don't make it? I get successful and then first I go up and then I could go down. So for me, that was huge. Fear. So Latino, fear. Laura, fear. Anyone else? What other limiting beliefs do you think? People will expect us to succeed again. Yes. If you're fearful of success, you're right. You're going to be at the top. But then what if you crash? And then it's like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed. What's wrong with me? What's going on here? What didn't I do? Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Why did I even take that chance? And you're right, Laura, people will expect us to succeed again. So you have that pressure. You're really pressured, and you may have anxiety. You might lose sleep over it. So fear is huge. I got to tell you, fear prevents us from, I think, a lot of things. Oh, really? That is the number one. Okay. The first time was just dumb luck, not because of me. Okay. Absolutely, Laura. Anyone else? Roy, Latino Connection. Who else besides Laura? Anybody else? Fear, Latino. I know that I definitely would talked about that. Any other limiting beliefs you think that have to do with your money mindset that really prevents us from abundance? Oh, I'm sorry. Her name is Judy. Okay, Judy. Sorry, Judy. Any limiting beliefs about that has to do with your money mindset that really prevents you from catapulting your income? Because we're entrepreneurs here, or if we're not entrepreneurs, we might want to transition to an entrepreneur, and we have in our inner game, okay, that stinking thinking, I say, and what prevents us? Job security versus, right? I had job security, got laid off. I found myself with no job. What do I do next? And for me, in that journey, I discovered a tool that was called the passion test. And that gave me clarity to figure out what I wanted to do. So I highly recommend that tool. As a matter of fact, I'm a facilitator of that tool, and I help people get that clarity and focus to really figure out what they want to do. So if anyone doesn't know what they want to do, they might have been laid off, or they have that fear or that lack of focus, really not sure what they wanted to do. They have those insecurities. And a lot has to do with your childhood experiences, your adulthood experiences, the way we're raised. And yeah, too many ideas. Yes, Laura. So what we need to do is narrow down the too many ideas, into, let's get it down to 3. Okay. With the passion test, actually 5. We get down to 5 passions, getting clear on what your 5 most important things. So Laura, anything you can narrow down, absolutely, that tool could help you to really get narrow, to really get that focus and going in that direction. Because a lot of times when you have all those ideas, you're just all over the place. You're scattered. You're just going from different things to different things. And you can say, okay, let me try this. Let me try that. No, I think I'll try this. And then you really you're not clear. You're not focused. You're not working on one thing at a time. And I know that's happened for me. Okay. There was one time I wanted to try this. I've been in a couple of network marketing organizations and I liked this. I didn't like this. And so I started to I tested it out and I stuck with one, which I'm currently in. And I love it because I'm really passionate. That's one of the things, you need to be passionate with what you're doing. Okay. And so your mindset, let's get back to that. We have the fear, we have the job security versus, yes, what do we do next? Exactly. What do we do next? Okay. Judy, any suggestions? Any suggestions? Any other limiting beliefs you think besides fear? How about you, Laura? Anyone want to get into the hot seat with me and join me? Feel free to join me in the hot seat. I call it the great seat, not the hot seat, so that we can see you and we can have a discussion about this tonight. So we're on the first key. First key is money mindset. Feel free to ask questions, ask away. So, and also feel free to share tonight's episode to your followers so that more people can get some information. There'll be a replay, of course, on this blab, but definitely share away. The more, the better. If I can help you, that's awesome. Okay. So anybody else have anything, any last minute things on money mindset? Okay. And also, before I even move on to the next key, is let's talk about money mindset also. When we start to think in a forward way or forward way, let me stay with that, and you really are focused in that direction, you're really directing your thoughts into a positive, you're gonna be attracting that. Okay, so you're definitely going to be attracting that in your life. Okay, so Laura, I was also raised that men are supposed to make more money. My head doesn't believe it, but deep inside I might fear not being loved if I am more financially successful. Wow. So the fear of not being loved. Anyone else want to say something about that? Not being loved if you're more successful. I think, you know, what you're saying, Laura, is we might have had the stereotype that men make more money. Okay, there's that inequality we might think of, but a lot has to do with is how you're thinking. Your head doesn't believe it. Okay, just like you said, it's your thoughts. You don't believe that. Okay, but you were raised that men make more money. Women are staying in the home, raising the kids. They don't need to work because the husband's going to work. That's what I was raised in. As a matter of fact, my father worked 2 or 3 jobs. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. And that's all what I grew up in. My mom didn't work. So, and we didn't talk, your mother worked and didn't talk about her income. Wow. Okay. That was interesting. That's interesting. So it sounds to me like it wasn't respected of her money, or was she contributing to the household? That's a good question, Laura. Was your mother contributing to the household? Because if your mother worked and you contribute to the household, but you didn't talk about her income, maybe your father was ashamed of that because maybe he didn't feel like he was contributing enough to the family. Okay, so a lot could have to do with ego as well. Okay, Roy, anything you'd like to share? Judy, anything else you'd like to share? Feel free. Laura's doing giving us all the thoughts, and I really appreciate you, Laura, and I appreciate everyone who's joined me tonight. Parents never let the kids know about the finances, but my brothers were expected to get more important jobs. Okay, so there definitely was a gender issue in the family. Okay. So I was raised with that. The husband worked. My mom was to stay at home because the mom takes care of the kids. It was that simple. There was no discussion about her going to work. Even if my father couldn't make it, he worked 2 or 3 jobs to make it. So that's really where the money mindset came in, because that was the way they thought. That was their belief, going back to beliefs, because that all has to do with it. Okay, so we have these limiting beliefs. We sabotage ourselves a lot of times from achieving success in our business. And when we're starting a business, if you don't have your money mindset in order, you can't have a successful business. And things are going to come in, but it's how do we get it clear? I mean, if you're afraid, then, I suggest that you, of course, get some coaching, work with someone, help you to get through that, because you're going to go out there and start a business. You're going to market your business. You're going to have a product that if you create a product, or if you're going to promote a product, but you still have those inner feelings, those limiting beliefs. You won't be able to catapult your income, which is what we're talking about. Okay. And I agree. Okay. So Judy, my mother spent it as soon as it got in her hands. So to me, she didn't respect money by saving. Absolutely. Now in her older years, she pays her bills, has great credit, has a better mindset than in her youth, because she probably learned her lesson. Yes. Great. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. That is key. Respecting the money. And that's one of the things that I talk about in my Money Power Intensive program is how can we attract money if we're not even respecting it? Are we investing our money? Are we saving our money? Okay. Or, what are we doing with the money? And like you said, Latino Connect, from Pennsylvania. Wow. If you're not respecting it, okay, by saving it, yeah, you're just spending it, spending and spending. And I have to tell you, in my earlier years, and I have to say, I did the same thing. Whenever I saw something, I had to buy it. And I'd find a way. And I think that one of those things was inner, but it's too late for her being older. I know, absolutely, I know. So true. And, we learn from our younger years, but it's very true, Judy, that if we could teach our kids today as adults that to start saving money, but no, never too late. I don't know how old your mom is, but, start saving, start respecting money, and you'll be attracting more. You never know how much you're going to be attracting. Okay, 69. Okay. All right. So, yeah, it could be, she could live a long time. Okay. If she's healthy, which is the number one priority, I believe, is being healthy. You can do so much. Okay. But yes, so when you don't respect money, you're abusing the money. Okay. You're not investing, you're not saving. And, as we're going through life, I know that we all have bills to pay. We have kids. If you have kids, you have a mortgage, you have a job you're not even making enough money. Okay. You're thinking you're not making enough money, but even if you could put $1 a day away, let's think about where we're putting our money daily. Are we going to Starbucks? Are we going to Dunkin' Donuts? Are we a smoker? Are we going at it? Do we have magazine subscriptions? Where is our money going? And that's one of the things that, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's one of my strategies is your money management. Okay. Where's your money going? Okay. So that, we'll get to when I get to that point, but that's exactly, Judy, what's happened to your mom is not respecting the money. Okay. And now, it's great that she has great credit. Absolutely great. Because not too many people today have great credit. So the fact that she does is awesome. Okay. So money mindset. Yes. Let's not abuse the money. In order to attract it, you have to respect it, invest it, save it, and love it. Loving money, not loving to the point that you're being greedy and you're hurting someone, but knowing that it's okay to attract money, be willing to receive it, be willing to give it. So the giving and receiving is huge. A lot of times for me, I wanted to give it, helping my family, my kids, as a parent, but I didn't want to receive it. Okay. I didn't want to receive it. I felt bad if I received it. Okay. Welcome, Handy. Thanks, Handy, for joining me. I'm so happy. We're on number 1 key. The first key is mastering your money mindset. That's one of the keys to catapulting your income. And we're talking about fear. We're talking about how we're not respecting money and we spend it on, let's look at where is our money going. You know, what are we doing that we're not respecting it? Do you really need that cup of coffee? I'm going to give you my example. I used to go to Dunkin' Donuts every morning and I used to spend at least $1.75. Okay, I used to get the small size, $1.75 every day. Do the numbers. I used to drink the coffee 6 days a week, if not 7. Add it up, multiply that, okay, 4 weeks. That money that you are spending on one item could be put somewhere else, could be put in a savings account, okay? Who agrees with that? That's just one example of something that you could be saving your money. I love coffee, but let's think about how can I really, is it a habit or do I really love coffee? Half the time I didn't even drink a full cup, okay? I wasted it. That's abusing money. That's wasting money because I would buy it, okay, but I'm not. Okay, a McDonald's sweet tea friend. Ooh, I like McDonald's coffee, okay? I really do. And I love tea. I love their coffee. They make great coffee. And not friend, fiend. Oh, fiend. Okay. Sweet tea fiend. Yes. Okay. So yes, I love McDonald's coffee or tea, whatever. You like the sweet tea. I love green tea. That's one of the things that I like. So you think about that, it's one expense. And Handy, you know, who's joined us, he's with New York Life and he, you know, he's a financial planner. And I'm sure that, you know, when he meets with his clients, he's talking about money. And Handy, feel free to join me in the hot seat here or the open seat tonight. And we could have a joint conversation. We're still only on number 1 key, which is mastering your money mindset. Okay. So that's the first key. Okay. Any other thoughts about your money mindset? Okay. The second one is mastering your mission. So as an entrepreneur, think about why you're doing your business. What is your purpose? Okay. Where is that coming from? Is it something that, okay, you're passionate about, but why are you doing it? Okay, think about your mission. What is your goal here? Why are you doing it? And who wants to, you know, put a comment in the chat area here. What business are you in? Okay, feel free to share. And I'd like to know. Okay, so yes, master your mission. Thank you, Laura, for cap being my note person. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Are a doll tonight. Okay, so mastering your mission is really key. The purpose, your why of why you're in business. Okay, Laura, Judy, what is your purpose? What is your mission in your business? Who would like to share away? Feel free to share away. Why are you doing what you're doing? What's really driving you? Okay, I have a website, but I don't work it much. I feel there is information overload and my mission wanes. Okay, so Judy, you say you have a website. What is your website called? What is your business called? What are you doing? Someone else I met, I'm glad, has made his mission to be able to afford a house. Okay, so hablanews.com. Okay, I'll have to check it out. So what does Habla News do? What is it? Is it writing? I mean, tell me a little bit more about hablanews.com. Because you might have a website, but what are you doing with that website? There's information overload, but your mission wins. And one of our strategies we're going to talk about is your marketing message. Okay. Okay. Provides updates on what's happening in the Latino community in Pennsylvania. Okay. So we'll talk about marketing because one of the things you want to do, Judy, is market. You might have a website, but how are you driving traffic to your website? What are you doing to get people to your website so that they're getting those updates on what's happening in the Latino community? So you want to do that, okay? You want to definitely think about that. It's 10 years old and I'm mad about it. Okay, so it sounds to me that you're not Are you passionate about it? It has a nice clean look, but yes, there's a lot there. Okay. I'll have to check it out. I haven't checked it out. Laura, thank you so much. So a nice clean look, but yes, there's a lot there. Okay. So you might want to really get more clarity about that. And what I do is for people is in my coaching is that I help you to get that clarity, to help you figure out what is it that you really are passionate about and give you that clarity around your business. Okay. And then monetize that, which is my money power program. And so I can help you to get that clarity. So we're on our mission, okay, which is our second key to catapulting our income. It's really mastering your mission is your why, your purpose, okay? And if you don't know what your mission is, you need to really think deep, like what are you doing it? I mean, like really what is driving you to do that? Okay, we have a new caller. Okay, Karush. Where are you from, Karush? Where are you from? Before I call you in. Okay, so Karush, in a couple minutes, I'll have you come in. So, okay, so Laura, my mission is to not, Dr. Corey, you're Jewish, which is great. I'm dependent on others for my survival. Is that too broad? My mission is not to be dependent on others. That is broad, Laura. Yes, that is broad. That is broad. Okay, Karush. Okay, accept. Okay, Karush. Are you there?
Dr. Corey here.
Hi, Dr. Corey. How are you, Dr. Corey?
Good. How are you, Miss?
Good. Tina Kadish. Kadish.
Yes. So
where are you from, Dr. Corey?
Kadish is Jewish, isn't it?
My husband's, yes. It's actually Russian and Lithuanian.
Like Kiddush. We're going to say Kiddush.
Yes, that's what he actually had said it used to be. So where are you from, Dr. Corey?
From Iran, Jewish, Persian, American.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so what is it about what we're talking about tonight? How did you hear of us?
Spontaneously, I was on Blab, and I do shows and I market and things like that with other people, getting to the conversations of personal issues, professional and politics.
Okay.
And your subject here is very interesting. Uncover the 5 keys of
catapulting your income.
Catapult.
Catapult, growing your income, expanding it exponentially, really taking it to another higher level.
Multiplying, in other words.
Multiplying it, yeah. So what do you do, Dr. Corey?
I'm a life and career coach and business consultant.
Oh, okay.
However, at the center of this triangle, I have a hashtag which is called telepathic marketing traction, which I teach I teach telepathy basically for people telepathy. So for people to become more integrative, and they raise their emotional intelligence levels beyond the cerebral consciousness of psychology, to more spiritual or emotional, or raising their frequency to a higher levels of consciousness.
Okay, excellent. And Laura, yes, very interesting. Another form of mindset. Yes, emotional intelligence. One of the things that when you think about your mindset, we talked about that in the first key, is what is your emotional intelligence? Are you compassionate? How do you connect with people?
Empathetic.
Empathetic. Are we heart-centered versus head-centered? Really, the emotional intelligence is key in business, and I think it's needed in business. But I think too many times we get head-centered.
In other words, are we more giving than getting?
Yes. That's right. And we were talking before, I don't know if you were in the conversation, we're talking about mindset. We have to be willing to give, but also receive money. And that's part of that, law of attraction. If you're familiar with the law of attraction.
Abraham Hicks.
Hicks. Yes, I read his book. So the giving and receiving, are you willing to give? Too many times we want to receive, but we don't want to give.
Yeah, but with telepathy, I help people to become aware that instead of being manually, giving or receiving consciousness, to be more spontaneous. In other words, the yin-yang phenomenon of consciousness, that it goes together. In other words, the more spontaneous you are, the more empathetic you are. The more empathetic you are, the more you are in the zone of letting the energy going through you and recirculate in the universe.
That's right. So, Judy, yes, Judy said it's lacking in our society. Empathy is definitely lacking. With everything going on in the world today, if we had more empathy, things might be a little bit better. We're not going to get into those discussions.
Actually, I teach people, actually, like empathy is another word for telepathy. So the more telepathic we become, the more empathetic we become. The more empathetic we become, the more emotionally intelligent we become.
We are. Okay, good. That's good. Now, could you teach people at those rallies we see on TV? Yeah, Judy, we're not going to get into discussion tonight about the rallies, okay? Because it's going to go into a whole nother discussion. You could watch those rallies. They do need help. Yes, Laura, they do need help.
Yeah, and just not to mention any names or rallies or whatever, but in any situation, I could say, in any situation, you have to not necessarily, I'm as good of a teacher as I'm a student. However, in that conversation, by example, I teach people what telepathy, what harmony, what intelligence is all about.
Okay, good stuff. Wow. How long have you been in business, Dr. Corey?
I have been researcher all my life, but I was an idea person, and then I went back to school. I became a researcher. I have 2 PhD, one in one in psychology and one in business. And I have been in business of consulting basically more than a decade.
Okay, wow. Okay, great. Wow. Okay. So I want to answer a question Laura had. Does your mission change, or should it build from one phase to another? Is that question for Dr. Corey, Laura? Because I think the mission sometimes does change. It depends on how clear you are with where you're going. For me, it has changed. I had a lot of, I didn't have clarity in my business. I didn't know what I wanted to do. How I wanted to help entrepreneurs. So it did change. About money mission, my why. It does change. Yes, it does change. Or does it build from one phase to another? It can change depending on where you are in your life, I believe. Okay.
Yeah, you know what, Miss Tina?
Yes.
The thing is that people judge their intelligence or smartness based on how much productive they can be, or how much money they can make, or how much enjoyment they can have in their life.
Right.
And it's a very controversial thing. But for example, for my Jewish background, for example, I've been raised by the fact that the smartest you are, the more money you can make.
Okay.
And people have different backgrounds on that. For example, if you're a Jewish person, you may be raised like that. If you're a Christian, then maybe, the Jesus scriptures, for example, in New Testament is all about, being humble and be good to the poor. And heal the poor. In spiritual realm, like for example, if someone's parents is Buddhist, for example, it's about not keeping anything, but to circulate. In other words, just you know, they may be from a family of Buddhists who are just okay with just wearing jeans and a t-shirt and just have maybe just survive on a piece of banana each day, and but be more than ever a spontaneous and mobile type of a person.
Right. Okay.
I think that, however, in our global economy, however, I think our success is based on the monetary system of the global government that we have in place, and people, no matter how spiritual or how luxurious they are, they want to basically progress and basically change for a better monetary prosperity, so they can buy and live and do what they want to do whenever they want to, wherever they want to, and however much it will take.
That's freedom.
Money to do it.
Freedom.
Yes,
that's
freedom. Exactly.
That's absolutely freedom. But I want to not cut you off, but Laura, I want to answer questions. So Laura said, how can I restrain my racing thoughts to build on one money mission to something related, maybe bigger? Well, you really want to get your thoughts. Remember how we were talking, I think, Laura, we had talked about this, really paring down your thoughts to one or two, like you're thinking way too many things at once. And you really want to get narrower and be more focused, okay, is when I'm thinking about that. So you really do want to restrain. And I think that you're just doing too many things at once, but you're not getting clear enough, okay? So Laura, why don't you share with what you do so that Judy can get a better understanding of your business, okay? And it is 7:40, so I do have 3 more keys to catapulting our income. So I want to make sure that I respect everybody's time and also answer your questions. And feel free that you have the opportunity to ask questions as well. But Dr. Corey, feel free to stay on, in the open seat. Or if you want to get off, you can too. And be on the side is okay too. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. No problem. So Laura works with authors. Yes, she does editing and reviewing and promoting, but the money comes from the product sales. Okay. But what is your passion, Laura? And Laura and I had talked about this one-on-one and about what your passions are, because it's very important to be passionate with what you're doing. Okay. So that's one of the things that you really got to get clear. And that has to do with your mind, getting that clarity, being focused with your business. The passion is not the products I'm presently selling. Yes, it's not. Your passion, because you have to be passionate also about what you're selling. And I look at it, not selling, but serving. Are we serving our people? Okay. Are we in that servant leadership mentality? Okay. Is selling a passion? Selling could be a passion. Yes, Judy, it could be a passion. What are you selling? Or do you love what you're selling? If you believe in what you're selling, okay. Selling a passion. Yes, sorry, Judy.
But there is another point. There is another point that I like to raise in regards to the selling part.
Yes.
People will not buy what we are selling if it's not at their level of their consciousness. So what I would promote or propose is that for her and for myself and people around the world, if they're listening, as you raise your intelligence and you become articulate in your intelligence more and more, people will tune in to your level of understanding, like smartness or articulation and emotional motivation, and they come around. They come around spontaneously. You don't have to necessarily do this manually to become, more and more manipulative to, for example, bring those people around based on some kind of incentive. But what I'm trying to say is that be who you are, say what you are, and live by what you are, and those disciples, in a sense, will come around and come and collaborate with you.
Right. Very good. Thanks, Dr. Corey. Great comments and great tips. For the products, I see value, but not as life-changing. Trivial. Okay. So yeah, so Judy was right. Maybe you should reinvent yourself. We can talk more about that offline. Judy, my 13-year-old wants to be a nurse, but she says she's a surgeon. She's got big thoughts. Okay. The question is, why does she want to be a surgeon? But she's only 13. She can figure that out. She's got plenty of time to think about that, Judy. I do want to move on to the third key, and which is mastering your people, or municipality, your community. Okay. Who are your people? Who's your tribe? Okay. You really need to know who they are. Who, where are they located? What is their pain? What are their challenges? What problem do you solve? We're all problem solvers, okay? Thank you, Laura, for being my note taker. Mastering your people is huge.
Yeah, but may I say something about that?
Yes, of course, of course.
What I like to say is that, there is a connotation there, and I don't mean to be critical, but collaborative.
Sure.
The thing is that people usually get the connotation that mastery is about mastering others. There is sometimes between men and women, like guys want to claim that, I want to, be the master in the house, and the woman to be, under me, serving me, kind of attitude. But what I'm saying is that what I'm trying to say, as I'm giving you as an example, but what I'm trying to say is that now in the information age and going to intelligence age, people are learning to be collaborative. In other words, we are both masters. We get to be both. We get to be both enlightened, and by being who we are and communicating what we are, we get to learn about each other. In other words, in order to be the best student, you got to be the best. To be a best teacher, you got to be a best student. In other words, mastery is not mastering over others, but mastering to be mastered over others.
Yeah. Like when I think of mastering, is like when I say mastering the people, is really understanding it. It is, they are triggers. I want to answer Laura's question. Is this like finding your ideal client, discovering the problem you can solve? Well, you have to know who is your client that you're serving.
Another word, mastery comes as a mutual interaction.
And I'm just looking at Judy. Yes, Judy. Back to what we said about the giving and taking. Yes. When I think of master, I think that your people. In this particular case, the people. You know what their pain is. You know where they are, and you're going to attract those people because now you have that clarity that you know where they are, and you could solve their problem.
And that's
go ahead.
And that's an empathetic moment.
That is an empathetic moment. Exactly. Because when you know their problem and you could solve their problem, but it's not a matter of just being in the head that I could solve the problem. It's, are you empathetic about that person? Do you really care about that person's problems? And how can I solve their problem? So it's not just about.
You know them. So you know them at heart.
Yes, you know them at heart. You understand them. You know where they are. And Laura, to answer your question, it's finding them, okay, and you'll be able to discover what their problem is, and that's through working with your client that you'll be able to know what their problem is, and that's being empathetic, like Dr. Corey says. You really come from there. You put yourself in their shoes, and asking questions.
So you get to find out where their problem is by empathizing with them more than they can say where their problem is. You get to find out where their problem is.
You get to find, and you ask them questions. You really get to know them and get to know what their problem.
But questioning is only part of the probing. In other words, you know, they're not going to just give you the answer. You just question and question and question the questions because you want to get to the bottom line or the root of the problem. In other words, you shedding onion leaves in order to get to the heart of the issue.
Right, right. Yeah, no, you're peeling the layers of the onion. Exactly. When you're asking questions, you really want to get a better understanding of where they're coming from.
But at the center of the onion, there is nothing left. And that's the heart of the problem.
Well, by then, I would hope that you would understand it to the point that they say, oh my God, you like, aha, I got it. I know what you're, you know, you figured it out. You understand.
They say to you usually, you got me.
You got me. Exactly. Exactly. So, and you're right, Laura, an emotional connection. You have an emotional connection with that person. And so you really understand where they are. And you know, a lot of times we as entrepreneurs waste a lot of time and effort going after the wrong people because we have this product or we have this business and we think that we can serve everyone. No, it's a niche. You need to figure out your niche. What are those people? Our businesses are not for everybody. They're not for everybody. Okay, not everybody needs what we have, but we do have the people. One of the things that I want to emphasize tonight is that money has not.
But what about if your business is literally? What about if your business literally is for anybody? In other words, for nobody. But
for everybody.
No, like anybody. Like you say, you know, your business is not just for anybody. In other words, what I want to say, which is a Zen attitude to this, that your business actually could be literally for anybody. In other words, anybody, everybody, and nobody.
Yeah, I know. And it could be nobody.
You're right. In other words, the only people that come around, in other words, the people who come around for your business are the people who want to be part of your fans, friends, or family.
Yes, yes, yes. So Laura's asking great questions tonight. Thank you, Laura. So should we have a lot in common with our ideal customers and clients, or should we have similar experiences? I think that would build empathy. I don't think that you have to have a lot in common. I think that when you do have things in common, you can maybe relate more from your experiences with that person. When you have similar experiences, absolutely. One of my clients right now, there's similar experiences that I can understand relate to her.
Yeah, like
I can understand her.
Yeah. Like in other words, in another way to be said is that you don't have to have things in common with the person, but
no, you don't.
But to be in common with the person.
In common and really understanding them and really understanding your ideal client is really being clear. And I do want to move on to the fourth one, and then we have 2 more to go. And then I'm going to wrap it up because it's 10:08 right now, Eastern time. I think your values should be in line for sure. Yes, one of my values has always been freedom. And this is why my program, the 3 Steps Roadmap to Freedom, is around, is because I want to have freedom of your time, your finances, like doing what you love to do whenever you and with whomever you want. So for me, it's always been freedom. That's a core value. Okay. And I think, if you have a passion, I can solve a problem or provide a service without the experience. Yes, you can. It's really about your passion, Laura. What are you passionate about? Can you solve people's problems? How will you transform their lives? And, working with a coach, you'll definitely be able to get deeper in that. But definitely having a passion is key. Okay. That is like one of the main things. Stop running around.
I want to clarify something about passion.
Yes.
Because,
yes.
For example, a person could be so passionate that people would say, oh, you're not in touch with real life. But what I like to say is that, like I have been very passionate in my life, but I went to school in order to be able to get, to learn the vocabulary in order to articulate that passion in order to put it into use,
Right. No, definitely. So that's really with the people. So I want to move on to the fourth key. The fourth key is marketing message. What is your message? So we start with the money mindset. We go into the mission. We go into the people. And now we're going into your message. What are you communicating to your people? Okay, number 4. Thank you, Laura. Your marketing message.
Yeah,
what is your elevator pitch?
That was the articulation that I was telling you about.
Exactly. Absolutely, Dr. Corey. How are you articulating your message? But also, where are you articulating your message? Where are you communicating? What social platforms? I mean, I'm using Blab as a method to communicate my program and how I help entrepreneurs grow their business. And so one of the things you want to do is you're not selling people. You want to really provide value. You want to provide
you're broadcasting. You're broadcasting your value.
But I'm providing value, yes, to people.
But another angle that I want to bring into this is that sometimes people get on, even maybe CNN, and they talk about their values, and they still see that nobody responds. But what I like to say is that sometimes it goes beyond the borders of whatever or wherever we broadcast. In other words, don't put a hamper on your ideas and say there is nobody here to buy my stuff because I went everywhere and I broadcasted and I didn't find customers. It's not about that. It's about, it goes beyond the parameters of technological information age or internet or cyberspace or television and so on and so forth. You could even go around your community and go to all kinds of mixers and you still not have a sale. But telepathy that I teach, it goes beyond the levels of cerebral consciousness.
Yes.
You got to change you got to go to a different level of consciousness. In other words, the passionate part has to be like 100% with your heart.
Yes, it does.
And the articulation part, you got to be 100% mind. But the spiritual side or your motivation and frequency is something that you got to come in terms with when you go forward. In other words, when you take this step. In other words, when you make the click for the candidate or whatever it is.
Yes, exactly. And Laura's making good points here. Being authentic, really being very authentic.
Integrity.
Exactly. Being integrity, being authentic.
I think that may be your 5th. That may be your
No,
your 5th.
Actually my 5th, I'll believe it or not, is tracking your money. Your money management, okay, is one of the things.
No, that's another angle to it that I may mention. You got to be a little Jewish.
I got a lot of Jewish friends.
You gotta learn from Jewish people, rap with the Jewish people, be a little Jewish people, eat some Jewish food or something.
Funny.
Take a trip to Israel, whatever it takes. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Tracking your money. Yes, Laura. So number 5 is tracking your money. That's the 5th key. We're making the money, but do we know where we're going? Do we know where the money is? Are we assessing our true state of affairs? Your income.
Tina, what I appreciate about you is that you did admit it at the end.
Admit what at the end?
The money.
Yes.
The money. All about money. That's the bottom line. Yeah,
and the bottom line is you're right. And right, Dr. Corey, we have to pay our bills. We want to be with our family. We want to spend time with our family. We want to be successful.
More than that, in order to live luxurious, and also you mentioned being free, in order to have our freedom, in order to be more giving, we all need to have our assets in check, our budgets in check, and also take action in order to give the money.
That's right. Because when we're coming from a scarcity, even if you don't have the money right now, but if you keep saying, I have money, getting back to the mindset, we're going to start to attract money because the way we're thinking. And like you were saying, it's really deep in our mind. There's times that I haven't had money, but if I start thinking that I do, the money's going to start, the clients are going to come, the opportunities are going to come. But when we come with it, I don't have money, I can't pay my bills, oh my God, and doom and gloom, everything's bad, you're not going to be attracting money.
So Miss Tina, the thing is that we have to be wealthy in our hearts. We have to be prosperous.
Yes.
Yeah, listen to this. Yeah. Wealthy with our hearts, prosperous with our mind, and giving with our dollar.
Laura, write that down. So wealthy, let me see, wealthy
with our hearts.
Yep.
Prosperous with our mind.
With our mind.
And rich with our actions.
Reach with our actions. I like that. Thank you so much. Laura said, Judy's daughter, think like a surgeon rather than a nurse. Be the one in charge. Yes. Wealthy in our hearts. I love that. Wealthy in our hearts, prosperous with our mind, and reach with our actions.
No. Giving with our actions.
Sorry.
No, rich. I'm sorry, rich.
Yeah, you did say actions. Reach. Yeah, so Judy, yeah, very nice. No, that's a good one. I like that very much. I wrote that down. So wealthy. So let me just rich. Oh, I'm sorry. I said reach. Sorry, typo.
Rich.
Rich with our action. Yeah, with our actions. So we're coming up to 8 o'clock, and I wanted to honor all of your time because we're all busy. And just to recap the 5 keys that will catapult our income. And my business is Life is Ideal. My website is lifeisideal.com. And you could take a look at it. And I go into more details about my program, the Money Power Intensive program.
Can you repeat the 5?
Oh, yeah, let me type it in. Oh, yeah, let me put my website too.
Just the 5 words,
Okay, so mindset, mission, people, message, and money management are the 5 keys. Okay,
wonderful.
That's what's going to grow your income. And I go deep into my program, the Money Power Intensive program. Check it out on lifeisideal.com. But I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Laura, thank you so much. Dr. Corey, thank you for joining me.
It's been a pleasure.
On the open seat. Judy, thank you for joining us tonight. And there will be the replay on this.
Remember me tomorrow, Sabbath night when you saying Kiddush.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, everyone.
And Chag Sameach to all the St. Patrick's people.
I know. Happy St. Patty's Day tonight. Okay, good night, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording.